Hello guys, this is Donald's Movies, and today I'll be giving you top 10 Warcraft lore heroes, listing them based on their achievements and significance in my own personal view. Do keep in mind that this video does contain Legion spoilers, and without further ado, let's get into the lore. Number 10. Magni Bronzebeard. Magni Bronzebeard was once the king of Khazmodan and the ruler of the Bronzebeard clan. He was very influential during the Second War against the Orcs and various other conflicts up to the Shattering. As a dwarf interested in his roots and the world around him, one day he sought answers, putting himself under an unknown titanic ritual in order to communicate with the earth. No one knew what to expect, and much to everyone's surprise, he was suddenly turned into a diamond. For about 4 years, his spirit was one with Azeroth, and now, just before the Legion invasion, he has awakened. As a mortal that saw something that almost no one else did, Magni gave up his throne and instead is now focusing on saving the world, being the actual messenger of the Azeroth World Soul. Number 9. Sylvanas Windrunner. Most people would not really call Sylvanas a hero, but based on everything she had gone through and how she endured it, in my opinion, she definitely deserves a place on the list. Sylvanas was once a High Elven Ranger general that fell defending her homeland and was subsequently raised as a banshee to serve Arthas. She eventually freed herself from his grasp, and together with the other three undead, known as the Forsaken, Sylvanas captured parts of the fallen kingdom of Lordaeron. Not long after, the Forsaken joined the Horde and helped in defeating the Lich King. At this point, Sylvanas realized her goal was accomplished, but there was no happy ending and there is never going to be one, so instead of just ending her existence, she focused on strengthening her people and her kingdom. During the Siege of Orgrimmar, she helped get rid of Garrosh, and now in Legion, after the Broken Shore, she became the new war chief of the Horde. Sylvanas Windrunner had a tragic life and everything that could go wrong went wrong, but no matter the challenge, she still stands strong. Number 8. Tirion Fordring.
Rise up, Argent Crusaders! The hour of justice has come!
Tirion Fordring was one of the first Knights of the Silver Hand and one of the strongest human paladins. He was a hero of the Second War and the Lord of Mardenhold Keep, all until he lost his title for defending an orc. He spent many years in exile, but during the campaign against the Lich King some 7 to 8 years back, he once again became a prominent figure, creating the Argent Crusade, a new order of holy warriors. Leading the crusade against the Lich King, Tirion successfully assaulted the main base of the Scourge, the Ice-Crown Citadel. There, with the help of the Light and the players, he killed Arthas. After that, he dedicated his time to cleanse the former lands of Lordaeron of the Scourge, but as the Burning Legion invaded, he was the first one to answer the call and defend Azeroth on the Broken Shore. Unfortunately, his forces were overwhelmed and he was captured, later on dying from the torture he received. He was buried by the Paladin's Order beneath the Lightscope Chapel, and just as he lived his life as a hero, he died a hero's death. Number 7. Varian Vryn. Varian Vryn was the former king of Stormwind and the Alliance. Throughout his life, he constantly dealt with trouble, from his kingdom getting destroyed to later getting kidnapped and forced to become a gladiator. No matter the struggle, he pushed through and stayed strong for his people. His achievements range from defeating Onyxia, contributing to the fall of the Lich King, and most importantly, keeping the stability of the new alliance. With the Burning Legion invasion, Varian unfortunately met his end in the same way he rolled, putting his people first. During the Broken Shore assault, Varian led the Alliance forces, but overwhelmed by the superior numbers, they were forced to retreat. Gul'dan saw this and summoned a gigantic Fell Reaver to destroy the retreating gunship. Varian, at this moment, sacrificed himself, impaling the Reaver with his sword, giving his forces a chance to escape. Unfortunately, this left him stranded in the middle of the Legion army, and even though he fought valiantly, ultimately, he fell. Varian Vryn was killed by Gul'dan's magic, his last words being, "For the Alliance." Number 6. Bolvar Fordragon.
Arthas! The blood of your father, of your people, demands justice! Come forth, coward, and answer for your crimes!
Bolvar Fordragon was once a powerful paladin and the regent of Stormwind in the absence of the king. He, in a way, led the Alliance politically, but his most prominent achievement was in Northrend. Bolvar was the commander of the Alliance offensive against the Lich King, and he fell in the battle at the Vratgate. Through the dragon flames that subsequently cleansed the battlefield of the poison, the body of Bolvar was significantly altered, and he was taken prisoner by the Lich King. Arthas mercilessly tortured him in an attempt to bend him to his will, but no matter the pain, his spirit was unbreakable. After the Lich King was killed, Bolvar took it upon himself to take the Helm of Domination in order to keep the Undead Scourge in control. Ever since then, he has been the jailer of the damned and the one keeping peace in Northrend, and recently Bolvar even put his efforts towards repelling the Legion invasion. Number 5. Troll. Troll, also known as Goel, is an orc shaman, a former warchief, and one of the most influential figures in the recent times. He was raised by humans who found him as a baby after his parents were murdered. However, eventually he managed to escape and reunite with Orgrim Doomhammer and his birth clan. Together they fought and freed the rest of the orcs and created the new horde. After the warnings from Medivh, he led his people to Kalimdor, where they defeated the Legion and created the horde for what it is today. As big as all of this is, his most important achievement was during the Cataclysm, when Troll, with the help of the Dragon Soul, aided in the defeat of Deathwing, saving the world of Azeroth. He did step down as warchief and later down the line fought in the rebellion against Garrosh, returning the horde to the principles he set. Today, Troll is dedicated to shamanism and his family and is working to stop the Burning Legion. His role is not as active as it once was, but there is absolutely no doubt that Goel is an influential figure and a hero of both the Horde and Azeroth. Number 4. Broxigar. Broxigar the Red was a veteran warrior and an orc that achieved something unheard of. In reality, he was the first orc that ever stepped a foot on Azeroth, but that is due to the fact that he was transported back in time to the War of the Ancients. Previously, he had experience fighting demons in the Third War and was honored amongst his people for holding a vital mountain pass against the Legion. However, his true rise to glory came in the final battle in the War of the Ancients, when he leapt through a portal into the realm of the Burning Legion. As he arrived, he slaughtered so many demons that he caught the attention of the fallen titan Sargeras himself. Mind-blowingly, he actually struck at Sargeras, creating a small wound on his leg. Just this fact alone is incredible, as no mortal that we know about could even touch Sargeras, let alone cause damage to him. The reason why this wound was so important was because the magic that poured into it later distracted Sargeras, giving others a chance to destabilize the portal and close it on him, destroying Sargeras' physical form. Before that happened, however, Broxigar was killed by Sargeras, but this heroic death brought him more glory than any orc could even imagine. Number 3. Tyr. Tyr is one of the strongest Titan Keepers that played a role in capturing the Old Gods and the Elemental Lords. After the Ordering of Azeroth, he helped the Proto-Dragons defeat a gigantic abomination known as Galakrond, losing his hand in the process. His greatest achievement though came upon the discovery that one of the other Titan Keepers, known as Loken, had betrayed him. Tyr led the exiled Titanforge south as he carried stolen discs of Norganon that contained the information of Loken's treachery. Loken at this point was filled with panic, and out of desperation he unleashed two Old God Catraxi generals known as Zakaz and Kitix. Not long after, they caught up to the retreating group, and Tyr at that point decided to hold them off alone so that the rest of the Titanforge could fall back. Legend says that the fight raged for 6 days and nights, and neither Tyr nor the Catraxi were winning. In the end, due to fatigue, Tyr sacrificed himself to protect his brethren by unleashing all of his power upon the Old God minions. This led to his death and the defeat of the Catraxi. His noble sacrifice is the reason why the dwarves, gnomes, and some of the humans still exist to this day, and in his honor, the humans named the lands around his grave Tirisfal. Number 2. Illidan Stormrage.
Betrayer. In truth, it was I who was betrayed.
Illidan Stormrage, also known as the Betrayer, was the former Lord of Outland. 10,000 years ago, he was imprisoned after the War of the Ancients for defecting to the Burning Legion and creating a second Well of Eternity. However, he didn't truly join the Legion, and he was a double agent and the first ever demon hunter fighting the Burning Legion with their very own power. During the Third War recently, Illidan was freed, and not long after he absorbed the Skull of Gul'dan and traveled to Outland. There, together with the Blood Elves and the Naga, he took over the Broken Planet and made it his base of operations. From the Black Temple, Illidan created a new Demon Hunter order that he used as the main weapon against the Burning Legion. Together with his demon hunters, he almost destroyed the homeworld of the Dreadlords, one of the only times that the Legion was the one to be invaded. Unfortunately, Illidan was defeated by the Adventurers and Maiev, who were ignorant to his true cause, defeating the Legion and saving the entire universe. This defeat might have ruined his plans of invading Argus and ultimately stomping the Endless Demons, but now in the new expansion, his demon hunters join the Horde in the Alliance, and Illidan will possibly return, continuing his mission. Number 1. Agramar. Agramar was a titan and the right hand to Sargeras. They fought shoulder to shoulder against countless demons, and together they cleansed many worlds around the cosmos. After Sargeras broke ties with the Pantheon, he alone became the champion. It was Agramar that discovered Azeroth and sensed its true power, and seeing the same thing Sargeras once saw, a world infested by void creatures, Agramar urged the Pantheon to save this new powerful world soul. He played an active role in ridding the world of evil and creating Azeroth for what it is today. However, sadly his former tutor Sargeras had now completely lost his mind and decided that the only way to cleanse the universe is to purge it in fire. Agramar, experiencing a similar horrific sight, attempted to reason with Sargeras, but when he realized that his words did not matter, he challenged him to single combat. It was a hard and long duel, but with Sargeras' superior fell power, Agramar was forced to retreat. With the backing of the Pantheon, Agramar once again attempted to talk with his former friend and bring him to reason, but this time, Sargeras struck unarmed Agramar, nearly slicing him in two. Not long after his death, the rest of the Titans fell. Even though Agramar died there is absolutely no doubt that he was a hero and the most influential figure in the history of Azeroth, as if there was no Agramar, Azeroth would have fallen to the Void Lords. Alright, and that is all I have for this list. Do keep in mind that this is my own personal list and that there are many other heroes, so feel free to leave yours in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to like the video as it really helps out, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thanks a lot for taking the time out of your day to watch this video, and see you next time.